Just Monday, I know you weren't super impressed with your team's offensive performance, and then tonight it's a pretty historic one. Just how big of a turnaround was that in 48 hours?
Well, I think when you don't make shots, it tends to obviously it doesn't look good. I mean, that's the thing. When you make shots, everything looks good. But I think the things that lead to making shots, ball movement, spacing, those things were much better. And I thought our effort was much better. I said a couple games ago, one of the things that concerned me about our transition game was we were getting three and maybe a fourth, but we weren't getting a fifth to run hard like we needed to. I think tonight we saw some players run really well. I'll give you an example. There was a play coming our way where Zai was in front of the bench and I was yelling at her to go through. And she was ahead of the pack and she went all the way through and got it back, got the ball, got a ball screen from Kennedy and hit the pull-up jumper on the other side. And, we weren't playing that way certainly Monday night. We've had glimpses of it, but tonight we put it together. Now we had some advantages, but at the same time you can either take advantage of those advantages or play down a notch, and tonight we played up.
Just how encouraging is it for you to see that your team can make that turnaround in a short period of time?
Well, yeah, and we know that's going to be critical here. I think the thing, we practiced really hard yesterday, and we did not, yesterday's practice was about us in terms of we didn't do scout work on Milwaukee because I wasn't happy with specifically things to our standard, our fundamentals. So early in this game, we were a little bit behind their actions because we hadn't really worked on them much. But I did like our communication. I thought Poindexter had one of her better communication games defensively. I thought Jalen Glenn was outstanding there. But, the quick turnaround, I think, will challenge all those things that you got to go in college. And we'll see that next week in Vegas, and we'll see that down the road in Big 12 play and tournaments and all that stuff.
Seems like every game you've had a team come in here with a high-scoring player. Milwaukee had a 20-point average score, but your team has been able to shut down those scores consistently. What is it that you all do well to shut down those players?
I think we've got multiple players that can usually guard that kind of player, and I think so it doesn't fall on one player. And I think anytime you can give a really good player maybe different looks, and not just different looks from stylistically, whether you're trapping a ball screen or switching, but different looks in terms of size, quickness. That's probably an advantage for us that we can do that. So, many times when we have this conversation, we're talking about a player that's guarded by Zai, Serena, Jay. Poindexter has drawn some of that. We've got multiple people that can do that.
You held them to 18 rebounds. Obviously, you had a huge height advantage, but that ties a school record for fewest in a game allowed. Just was that because of your height advantage? Was that because you were making so many shots, they were missing so many, or did your team handle that well?
Well, I think two things. I think one, our transition game got going so well, they got concerned about that, so they weren't sending people to the glass. It's one of the things that I think goes unnoticed when you're running so well at the other end and the other team says, we got to get back. They tend to, do that quicker. And then I think that we chased the ball really well tonight. I thought our guards really chased the ball well tonight. I had to look at that twice on the stat sheet because I thought Randy had made a mistake, and because it didn't feel like that to me watching it, but it also didn't feel like they were getting any second chances. So yeah, good night for us.
And back-to-back games for Taryn being in double figures, even though she's dealt with some injuries. Just what have you seen from her throughout this early part of the season, having to fight through those injuries but still be making an impact on the court in meaningful minutes?
I haven't seen anything differently than I was seeing in practice. I think, Zach, when we talked, I don't know, a month or so ago, I really felt like Taryn was going to. I thought she had one of the better summers shooting the ball. I thought her mentality was exactly what we wanted, freedom to shoot it. We wanted that gunslinger's mentality, and she's doing exactly that. I think she's shot ready. I think she's playing very well.
And then do you know anything about Kennedy's injury?
She says she's okay. I think the shoulder got in a bad spot, and I think I don't know what occurred, but she gave me the thumbs up in the locker room. So unless we get something, through the night, I think she'll be okay. We've got tomorrow off. They'll have treatment. So I'll get a report probably midday tomorrow.
How would you describe Gap Goat's lasting legacy, I guess, with the team defensively?
We got a bunch tonight, right? Yeah. I think it's been fun. I mean, it's been fun for the players, fun for the fans, fun for our managers. It's certainly, like when we started this, it was really just, you've heard that story. I really just wanted the team to do what football's done with like the turnover chain and Major League Baseball done with home runs where teams, do whatever, mask or something. And, last year when they created it, but it's been, once again, it's a fun way to celebrate what we're emphasizing. And, we have drills in practice where we're emphasizing it, but certainly I'm all for anything that can motivate us to play better defense, even if it's just a stuffed goat.
Do you have any concerns about the goat going to Vegas and partaking in?
You're asking me. To my knowledge, the goat's never been to Vegas, okay? So I worry about anybody going to Vegas for a first time, all right? That would be my biggest concern. I'm not sure what age the goat is. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Jalen had 3 steals, and I think she turned all 3 of those into easy baskets on the other end. For her, and I guess the entire team, to turn steals and turnovers into easy baskets, how much does it help the offense?
Yeah, well, I mean, you get live turnovers, and you have a group that's running the floor, and that's hard to defend. A team can be great at transition D. You can have the best system transition D. Your team can be disciplined, but live turnovers, there's nothing a team can do on that. They're at the mercy of the offense. They're at the mercy of the offensive team making a mistake at that point. I liked how hungry we ran tonight. I thought Jay really had a great look to her defensively. So I think when I won't look at this tape a lot, but those will be the things I look at because those are things where you get extra offense, right? If your defense can create some offense on nights when maybe you don't shoot the ball as well, that's big for you.
The players mentioned that you emphasized not playing the score and just going one possession at a time. What does that look like for you in terms of watching the film and seeing how they play?
Well, every evaluation there's no score to the evaluation. It's did you defend here? Did you do your job here? Did you rotate where you're supposed to be? Are your hands up? Are your hands active? All the things that we teach. I mean, those things are all irrelevant to the score. I don't even know what the score is. I do, I guess, but that's not what I'm evaluating, right? That's not what our defensive coaches will evaluate. That's not what our offensive coaches will evaluate. So human nature is to let up when you've got a big lead. Human nature is to relax a little bit. I thought tonight we played pretty consistently. I thought the bench came in, gave us a lift. I thought our communication was good. The score works both ways. We're going to have games this year where we're down early, where we don't shoot it well. Things don't go very well. And good teams, they don't play that score. They understand it's a 40-minute game. They understand that the next possession, the next dribble, all those things are way more important than what the score says.
Can you just give us a sense for going to Vegas and being able to play these teams, and just maybe the sense of excitement or anticipation that goes along with that, just to know where your team is?
Well, we know we've got a really good matchup with Duke, and it's a great tournament. You've got Oklahoma and DePaul on the other side. You know, we're going to go to win a tournament championship. We got 4 teams that have that opportunity. Every player, every coach gets more excited about ranked games, tournament games. Those things are exciting for us. So, you know, hopefully we'll have good preparation going into it. We've got a couple days here in Manhattan, and then we'll get into Vegas on Saturday.
What did you learn most about the team tonight that you didn't maybe totally know, or maybe was emphasized more tonight?
Well, I think as a coach, I think you're always curious on how your team's going to handle success and how they're going to handle some adversity. And while we won a game the other night, you guys all know that I wasn't pleased with some things, and our team knew I wasn't pleased with some things. So how are they going to bounce back in shoot around, practice, preparation, and then when the lights are on, you know, how are they going to handle that? So I thought this was a good step forward for us. We saw a lot of people play well tonight, and that's what I was looking for.